Can I just?
No, but
No, you can ask, sorry.
Okay, no, umbuzo wami wokugqibela was for Sisi. She did say that that you guys collect from music users, and music users include radio, TV, and then there's also venues and that type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to know now, because I know I've been to many clubs, and I've never seen a DJ there who's filling out a cue sheet or anything like that. So how can I ensure that when a DJ plays my song, I still get what is due to me? Is there a way? Can you understand?
I'm laughing because our teachers our
Okay. But we only collect for audible recording, which is something we live, not visual. So visual would be SAMPRA. So we only collect, hence we collect from radio because it's what you listen to. Retail background music, mostly and you hear a song plays, pubs, hair salons, everywhere where is a business and they play music. So we also license DJs. We call them mobile DJs because DJs are playing songs that don't belong to them. So we also license DJs. There's a fee that they have to pay through SAMPRA and through SAMPRA as well. So you don't have to worry that DJ is playing your music and how are you going to get your music. We worry about that. We worry about that. No, but what? Your job as an artist, you can ask the DJ, you have the right to ask the DJ, are you licensed with SAMPRA and SAMPRA? And then if the artist say, or the DJ says, they're not, you have the right to contact us. And we contact the DJ. We do. And you know we do. We do.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, there's a DJ, local DJs or like a chief today, tomorrow. Who register and that DJ is playing there every Sunday. And then why would I call and tell you about the DJ? You have so many popular DJs that you can see as SAMPRA, but they are not registered by SAMPRA. And they, like, why do I have to go and tell you about DJ Menon? You know he's popular. Is he registered? No, yes. Call him.
Guys, there's a whole lot of us in the industry. And hence the reason there's RISA, there's SAMPRA, there's Capasso, there's SAMPRA, because as an organization, as SAMPRA, we cannot do everything. So that particular job, it's a research job. Like, it's research job.
Okay.
But then we get involved because we have to license the artist. But then it's a research job. As much as piracy is concerned, and RISA is supposed to be handling piracy, it's a research job.
Thank you.
I just want to ask, and I know the Department of Labor, they have inspectors that come, to the various workplaces and check whether it's meeting the necessary standards. Do royalty organizations also go to taverns or these places to go check whether the DJs are okay?
We do, guys. In our organization, we've got different departments. I'm in stakeholder relations, which is mainly dealing with artists, customer service, and there's a licensing and sales department, and legal, which has inspectors. They have sales personnel that goes from city to city, and they inspect. Like if maybe this rooftop garden is not licensed, they come here as anybody who comes here and to listen to music or to enjoy. And if we know that this particular place is not licensed, because we've got a database, right? And then the owner or whoever manages this place would lie to us and say, no, the place is licensed. We've got inspectors. Inspectors are people like you and I. They come here and they listen to the music that plays. They Shazam the music that plays, and they send that Shazam recording to our office. And then we have proof that this particular place plays the music that belongs to our artists, and they're not licensed. So we've got inspectors that goes around each and every city to inspect if a place is licensed or if a DJ is licensed.
Okay, so I felt the need that I had to ask this question, and I think if it's a go would expand with me. My question is, do record labels feel that they have a responsibility in terms of upskilling the people that they work with, which is the musicians? So we hear every day that people get robbed and all of this, and we understand that people don't go to school and all of that. So it's a known thing, it's a norm. But now, as record labels, you're working with these people, knowing all of this, do you feel that there is a responsibility that you need to take in terms of upskilling these people, not just kind of like getting money out of them, but also making sure that, like any other job, when you go to a job, you have your skills, but when you get there, you need to learn how to use the system. So when it comes to the music industry, do you guys feel as record labels that we have this responsibility to these artists to kind of get them, you know, more enlightened into what it is that they're doing, and do you do that?
That's a very beautiful question, you know. But I'm also going to be frank with you. Record companies are there to make money, not to babysit any artist, you know. You have the government who's supposed to do that. The government has to upskill you. The government, has to give you all that particular information and get you ready for you to get into any type of business, be it fashion cluster, and I think it's something that you guys have to push, because there are so many clusters. You've heard of my clusters. You guys don't have a music cluster. In KZN, there is a music cluster. That's why industry are called kind of like shit. So you need to demand a music cluster, because a music cluster, then it's going to make sure that at least you guys are more structured. You know, you have an office. Any artist that doesn't know what is happening will be able to go to that office to get more information about record companies. And that music cluster then will be able to source out particular information. In this particular case, it will be an issue of maybe music cluster has asked Zexbandu and Mrs. Palisa to sit down, and we're just giving you guys information so that anyone who comes to your offices, then they are able to get that particular information in a pamphlet and all everything else. So record companies, some record companies only have like a CSI that they do. That's social responsibility. That's what they do, but for the community, not for the artists. Because with regards to the artists, it's just business. It's just cutthroat. Here's the contract, sign this, don't sign it. Once we agree, then we own it. So that's why then you rely on you rely to have a team. You really, like guys, any artist, just that they won't tell you. They will tell you that they are big because of their music. They're not big because of their music. Any artist has a successful career because of the team. I know. It's the team. So you have to just make sure that you have the right team. The fact that you've been going to the studio with your cousin and he's been there for you, your friend, it doesn't mean once Upopa, then he needs to have a cut in the business. He's a manager now suddenly. No, get the right manager. You know what I mean? Like, because I think that's exactly what is happening. Because hey, artists now. You know, you've been there in the studio, where you've been taking me there, you know, 1 a.m. Actually, this song, which is popular, I made it while you were still there. Hey, Nganwam, you're my manager now. No. You know what I mean? Like, get the right manager. He's been there, maybe as a tour manager, because we are touring. You know, it really doesn't really disturb the business. But the business, just make sure you get the right people. That's it. You know? The right team, guys. You need the right team.
Just to add on what Zex has said, record companies don't have time for that. But we as CMOs have time for that. That is why I'm here. So what do? We do workshops, we do conferences, we get invitation. Like we got an invite from Muvuyo to come and share the information. We're here. As long as within our reach and we are available, we come and educate.
One last thing though, I do it. I mean, I'm here, I was not paid. I'm like seriously, like I wasn't paid. You know, I'm here for free. You know, but I don't think it's for free. You know, because the information that we're gonna share today, you know, but the value, because sometimes when you talk about the value, I mean, when I think about it, like a value an hour, that's what I charge an hour, and a video for 4 hours. Let's not come. Let's ask a question.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, Cha, Dimalang, all that. My name is Aretha, and my question is very simple, and it also leads to what Usi's Sunshine said. And it's directed to Mrs. from SAMPRA. Basically, it's just, when I think about it, I question why, as the 4 different platforms being SAMPRA, Samro, Kapaso, and Risa, if I'm correct, why aren't they connected or interlinked in some way, you know, so as to help artists receive their royalties from these different avenues, so, if I may say. Because the process is difficult, I'm not gonna lie. I've had experiences, people telling me signing up with just one platform that you mentioned, you know, is an issue. And it seems like all these things are interlinked. All the composer, author, digital stuff, you know, they're all interlinked. So I don't understand why, as the whole 4 different platforms, why can't they be interlinked? So as to where an artist signs up, they sign up to everything, and everything is, you know, yeah.
All right. I like your aura.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Firstly, let me say, in the beginning of the royalty business, SAMPRA used to do everything. SAMPRA used to collect for performers, used to collect for recording artists, for record companies, for everything that all these other collecting CMOs are now doing. But then, as it said, that as an organization, you can only do or specialize on what you think you're capable of.
Yes.
Like an artist, you cannot be an artist and be a manager and be an A&R and be a road manager. There's every job title for everybody.
Yes.
So that you specialize in what you do, this one specializes in what they do. So that is the main reason.
I just want you to imagine if that system was just corrupt.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Imagine just one day, because when it's all good and fun right now,
yeah.
But imagine if that system was corrupt and it's just one company.
Yeah. I don't
Then you have because right now usamruka to kapas bakadene bafuna nemali zethu bonke bafuna right ngicela ungayonleti right ish.
Okay, just one follow-up question up to that. And I mean, just a side note, maybe have one difficult registration process for all the platforms. But I hear what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Just another.
But with SAMPRA's registration is no difficult, madam.
Okay.
You just log in online, you register there, 21 working days you're a member.
Okay,
That's it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
To my follow-up statement question, very simple. You mentioned earlier on that it's not necessary for you as an artist to be registered for you to receive your royalties. You know what I mean? And Abutize mentioned that. What about YouTube and digital airplay and stuff like that? So now my question is that when I think about it, and in terms of radio or TV airplay and whatnot, if I'm unregistered, you know, and you guys need the evidence and whatnot, why can't I use digital views or something as the way you use airplay, you know, for me to receive my rights for digitally?
Actually, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
I said you need to be registered. Yeah. You need to be registered. With SAMPRA, you need to be registered.
Okay.
Even if you're not registered, we're gonna find you. It's gonna be difficult for us to find you if you're not SAMPRA's member. So can you imagine if you in PE and we know nothing of you?
Yeah.
We only received money from SABC no, not SABC. We received money from Kaya FM.
Okay.
And we don't know anything about you. SAMPRA doesn't know anything about you. how are we gonna find you?
Yeah.
We now need to go to internet and find who you worked with. Maybe she worked with somebody. Maybe they might have her contact. So don't make things difficult for us, guys. We're having, like at the moment, we're having a difficult time paying artists who are not our members because we have to find you first.
But it is
And
possible.
no, it's possible. Our mandate is to collect and distribute. That money is not ours. It belongs to artists. So we have to find you somehow.
Okay.
But then make things easier for us. Let us not find you. Come and register. Help us help you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Was that the last question?
I just wanted to make a side note. It was the last question. It was the last question, but just a side note, it's okay actually. Thank you.
I think I put up with the okay, I saw some time.
Before I put my SAPC, he was trying to correct something related to royalties and who gets what share in terms of local artists versus international artists. What is happening and now that Pumile and did his initiatives were they what's the word, fruitful, and what's a mandate when it comes to royalties? But a mandate here, do you have a mandate in terms of ensuring that the bulk of the royalties is Suka Apa in South Africa go to South African artists? And even Nollywood states as recording companies, are you fighting the fight that needs to be fought?
Sure, I'm sure if you're a student, you're probably a member of the SRC. Hey. SAS member. Anyways, a very beautiful question, Mama. Very beautiful question. Yes, indeed, we are trying by all means to making sure that the bulk of amount of money collected by all these royalty collectors remain in South Africa. But South Africans don't understand. There's a saying, Malcolm X, when you are fighting for Africans, one hand has to fight the enemy and the other hand has to fight Africans. So the system itself, you are unable to fight it because you are somehow have to fight South Africans who are saying, I'm just challenging from those and not, so it's the very South Africans, because when Saudi passed on that 90%, took that particular decision, yes, somehow it was seen as irrational decision and somehow emotional decision, but it was a decision what was correct for South African artists. It was 100% correct, and it needed everybody to rally behind. But then, what happened to corporate South African? What happened to South Africans? South Africans, they themselves, bum over from radio station and listen to other radio stations where non-South African music was there. And then SABC started saying, we are starting to lose the numbers. And then corporate companies said, no, but while you guys are losing numbers, we cannot then run ads on SABC radios where you don't have enough numbers. So we'll follow where numbers are, Yeah. And now the revenue that started going down. However, the impact, if you ask if the impact did happen, it did. If you remember in South Africa, every year before the 90% was passed, every year you probably know Uguti songs were coming from either house music or kwaito or hip hop. It was only one genre. which was popular every December. But from that 90%, I think that year, someone who was popular was Nasty C, or was also Umo Samtande. There was also Vulela Mazulu. You know, there was like 5-6 songs which were so popular, and we all loved them in different genres. That could have been Song of the Year and we'd be happy. But before, we would only expect just one song to be Song of the Year because only one genre which was more popular. But after 90%, that 90%, I saw that year we had about 6-7 artists with songs which were so popular all at the same time and enjoyed by many.
Yeah.
So for me, that was an impact. You know, that I saw, hey, that 90% really did help. Because for the first time, we were able to enjoy more than one genre at one go. How those things that need to happen now, I understand, like, what I've understood in this day and age and where we are as people, and this goes to almost every sphere or anything that we're trying to change. We have, unfortunately, we have laws. We've got to follow protocol and laws. And ICASA are the people that we should be fighting with, not radio stations, not record companies, not SAMPRA, because all SAMPRA does is just to collect. They're not in the business of trying to retain here. Now it's ICASA that people who are supposed to be fighting with, and it's also the treasurer of South Africa, because we're saying we're in a business of exporting money in this industry. You know, instead of a business of making money, we're in the business of exporting money. Now, why ICASA? Because ICASA still gives commercial radio stations 35% of South African music. It says, as a commercial radio station, if you play the 35% of South African music, then here's the license. 35% of South African music. So therefore it says, play 65% of international music here. I want South Africans to know everybody, but just to know themselves just a little bit. You know? So it's the fight. So when we talk about these particular issues, even though you're not interested and you're not going to be a musician, this one time I was speaking to one a politician this other time. The politician was like, yo, say that play no music, I wish you was a musician. Then one day we saw why you should take a decision that will benefit a musician. Also, a musician, in an actual musician. I so wish to be a musician. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. So when you see a petition that says that whatsoever, I'm urging all of you guys to defend that decision. Any decision that benefits a South African artist, defend it. On Twitter, on Instagram, just defend it. Don't be part of people who are bashing. Because you got those comments. You know, so it's a fight that we all have to do. But guys, he did great, eh? He really did.
Just to summarize what Zitse said, he nailed it. Like, I can't say more than that, other than saying that Ubab Hlaudi did what is best for South African musicians, but the broadcasting business was suffering. However, I still supported the motion, but unfortunately, the sponsors and everybody involved in the broadcasting business were pulling out. So that was the reason why it was referred to as a bad decision practice.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, just it's bad to give South Africans money.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Usisi was the last question. We need to give the artists an opportunity to perform, guys. Otherwise, we'll talk the whole night. I'm going to give the panelists an opportunity to give their closing remarks.
Guys, thank you very much for coming through. My mom used to say, dreams delayed are not dreams denied.
Yeah.
You know, if it did not happen today, it doesn't necessarily mean it didn't happen, you know. So, and another thing is, you work on your talent and then you work on your opportunity each and every day, you know. and they always say that the greatest miracle in life is not a shooting star, but it's you know, it's an art of doing the right thing at the right time. You know, and you are different. You are, I'm telling you, you are different than the guy who's not here. You are so different. You are different than any other person who's not here. For you sitting down here and listening to, you probably think that you are not gaining anything, but you will know one day when someone speaks to you that actually there's something that I know. Because it's just sitting there in your mind. It's stored there, you'll never know. So every time when you work towards your dream, each and every day, you are getting into that particular preparation. And today was one of that particular preparation. I would tell you this. When I was studying music, there was a what you call this thing, a module which was called music appreciation. It was so expensive. It was 37,000 rand. That thing. We had to do it for 2 semesters. Now in that music appreciation, you would sit down. My lecturer would come in, play music, and then ask you to tell him what you're hearing. I thought that thing was just wasting our money. Like, you call it of it. They will play different songs, then we'll talk like, okay, the class is over, then we'll go. It's only later when I realize, when I will listen to music and then I'm on the keys, I will listen to music and then I will know where the music is without it taking long. Then I realized it was music appreciation, because with music I could relate now. Now later, it was later when I realized that, oh, he was teaching me when to listen to a key without just, you know, remember first, second, the third time I'll know which key the song is. It doesn't take me long. But at that time when it happened, I thought I was wasting my time. You know? So, pardon wasting my time. but guys, I'm saying thank you very much for being here. But one thing that I also would like to mention, this is exactly, because they display what is happening right now, it's exactly what is happening to the music industry. All these particular questions for the past hour, we've been talking, but no one asked anything about money. Not even one person. That's exactly how our industry is. We want to know about everything else but money. Think about that. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for all of your time. Guys, if there are any follow-up questions, I will hang around a bit afterwards. Otherwise, it's easy to find ABSA, it's easy to find a financial advisor. I think in the spirit of the event, stay woke about your finances, take it for real, start a saving culture, get a budget together, and just really protect your wealth, protect what you work for. I think at the end of the day, I think that's the most important thing. Have the chat with a financial advisor. You're not tied to one. Find someone that you can have a relationship with, someone that can understand what you do, where you come from, and just get into the good habits early. So yeah, if you're looking for any financial advice, by all means come visit an ABSA branch, and one of the staff will be more than happy to help you.
Thank you guys so much for being here and listening to us. I think we've said a mouthful, and I hope that you're taking what we've said to you and go and practice. Guys, at SAMPRA as an organization, we receive more than 50 application forms every day. Like, more than 50 applications every day. So as we sit as an organization, we're thinking everybody now wants to be an artist. We can't be receiving application form for being an artist if you're not an artist. But then our question would be, as an artist, do you know what the music industry is about? Do you know about royalties? Do you even know that there's different types of royalties? Because we get artists calling in once they're members and say, I've got a membership number, what do I do once I'm a member? And you ask yourself, this person is clueless. If you're going to ask us what you have to do once you have a membership of any of the CMOs, then it means this particular person has no clue about the music industry. So go out and equip yourself with knowledge. I always say knowledge is power. And hence I was because he made a point to go and learn about the music business. And you can't touch anybody, nobody can take knowledge from you. Once you're knowledgeable, nobody can do anything for you. So go out there and learn about the royalty business. And royalties has money. Once you've got your rose in the dark, you're sitting at home, at the comfort of your home, you receive money while you're sitting and not doing anything. You just need to do the right thing. Register your music, apply for membership, know what the music business is about.
Yeah.
So with SAMPRA it's easy, guys. You just apply online, and we've got the online, we've got the website. I'm sure there's a lot that we've said, and maybe you can't take everything we say now. Just logging into any of the CMOs organizations. I think we all have the online website and online everything. We are all on digitals, guys. We all have smartphones, we all have data. So one minute or 2 minutes a day, just logging into any of the CMOs to learn about 1 or 2 things.
Yeah.
So just equip yourself, guys. Nobody can take knowledge from you, and nobody can touch you.
I think before I leave, I'd just like to thank our sponsors, the Department of Arts and Culture, together with the Home of Vogue, the Roof Garden Bar. I would also like to thank Peugeot for allocating Uput and his team for a car during their visit in Port Elizabeth. We'd also like to thank our partners, Sis Lorna of Gwena Media. Yeah, and we'd like to thank Uput for availing himself, Absa, our partner, Bukail. We'd also like to thank Sis Palesa and the team from SAMPRA. And most importantly, everyone who attended today. This event wouldn't have been fruitful without your attendance. And we hope to see you at the next walk. So for now, stay woke.